Shubor naga Snem jong unong san Hima.
Hadien live hundri Snem ka jingam ka sorkar jilla hakni ka kenti kalayo ban Plie Paidbah no e ka jakasa lane ka hotel ka balatip kerteng kom ka hotel Vivanta ka badan ha khandai lat Shillong ya ka te ka hotel la Plie Paidbah menta ka sngido Myntri Rangbah ka jilla konrat ke sangma bat layo ru ya ka jingkran no Dr. Vijay Kumar IAS Commissioner and Secretary Tourism Department ka sorkar jilla ka Deepika Rao Executive Vice President Indian Hotels Company Limited uba DP Watlang IAS uba deu Chief Secretary ka Sarkar Jilla layo ru ka jingkran no saleng sangma uba deu Chairman ka MTDC uba Snem balang dhar uba deu Myntri ka tanat kam jungok kai perthai kate ka hotel ka dan ya ka jaka ka ba prahajar praspa square meter shispa sautli ki kamra bar ka de ka hotel ka baningkong e apo ka Jilla ka bade ka 5 star kani ka hotel ka don ru ya ka jaka bam bat kiwei haba ajingkran hagate ka sngi Myntri Rangbah ka Jilla ukondot ke sangma ulong ba kani ka sngi kalong ka sngi sa jingkan mawe ka Jilla hi baro ko wei khnang ba kiwei ki project ru ke bidang sa teng ansala ban pendapshen ulong ba nakaliang ka sarkar kan saile bannang penbuon shu ya kum kini ki jat hotel hapo ka Jilla Shu la ong ru ba da ka jing Plie kom kini ki hotel kam dei tang ka jing mentoy ka sarkar hendai ka dei ru ka lat ai kam ai jam mi ki samla ka Jilla bakin trei kin kita hapo ka Jilla la di
tourist destination of the country. In the year 1985, the project of Rangbah Hotel was proposed to attract more tourists in the state. However, after laying the foundation stone, there were hurdles in the path of completion. Finally, after 36 years of hurdles and delays, the famed Hotel Rangbah, now known as Vivanta Meghalaya, is finally operational and ready to welcome and serve guests from across the world.
This privilege of bringing the first 5-star hotel to the state of Meghalaya. Northeast is a very important region for IHCL. Just to share with you all, we have a total of 9 hotels, either in the operation stage or in the development stage. We already have, this is our 3rd Vivanta hotel, 1 each in the state of Sikkim, Assam, and now Meghalaya joins another state for us. We have 2 ginger hotels, 1 in Assam and 1 in Tripura.
The early 2000s, and I know what challenges we went through. So I would like to congratulate, under the leadership of our present Chief Minister, for the tipping point he provided in ensuring the fruition and the completion of this project. He has to definitely go outside the box, I'm sure, to ensure that all this has happened today. Because we had tried all the conventional methods, there was no plain vanilla solution to this, and it was more complicated than one would like to even imagine. So I would like to congratulate Sir, would like to congratulate the Tourism Department, MTDC, under the leadership of the Minister of Tourism, and also the SPV partner, Aura Hotels and Resorts Private Limited, the operator, Indian Hotels. Congratulations to all of you. 104 rooms, different categories, all-day dining, specialty restaurant, bars, banquet hall, meeting rooms is what we have been looking for in Shillong. And this hotel will provide employment to all the locals over here, will also provide employment to and business opportunities to local entrepreneurs.
But you all know the history of this Rangbah. Now it has changed into Vivanta Meghalaya. And then whatever agreement the MTDC had with Leslie and the SPPB with the SN Group and companies and with the Vivanta Touch, but whatever the initiations and the persistence that has been taken by this government, I would love to congratulate the team, the effort done by the, even our tourism officers, principal secretaries, commissioners, whoever is engaged. And then this is the light of the day that we have been waiting for, just to see that something comes up.
Thousands of crore has been sanctioned from different funding sector for this department. And today, sir, with your leaderships, you have really changed the state into many shapes, especially in the tourism sector.
It has been our endeavor as a government to ensure that things that people felt could not be done, and somehow had given up hope that it will never be touched or never been done or never will be done. It was our endeavor to show that, well, we can do it and we will do it. And this is another example of that determination, I should say, in us to not give up and to continue doing things. We have faced a number of challenges, not just in this hotel, but as I said, this hotel can be a story of the state in one way, that we have faced so many challenges, but yet we consistently went ahead. We were committed to the cause. We were focused on what we were doing. We were monitoring things, and we are finally here to see that this hotel is complete. So tourism is not just about a nice destination or a nice waterfall. It's an entire ecosystem that you develop. It's an entire process that's put into place. It's this entire system that has to be created. You need the infrastructures that have to be there. You need the logistical support that needs to come in. You need the communication systems to be there for transportation. You need the manpower to be there, to be ready to be able to serve. You need the drivers in the taxis who are driving the people to be well trained. It's a full process and a system that has to be in place for tourism to develop. And hence, if you look at what is happening in the last 4.5 years, every effort that we've been trying to put in is adding up to this big picture, this big piece of making Meghalaya a high-end tourism destination and ensuring that we come up on the top. We always tell, and I always stress on every a meeting that I have with my tourism department, and don't take it negatively. I want to just tell it to you in a very simple way, but I'll explain it further, that it is more important, I should say, that we get 1 lakh tourists, we get one tourist who comes in and spends 1 lakh, then getting in 1 lakh tourists and each one spending 1 rupee. You see, so it's the same thing at the end of the day, but the impact is different. Idea is that's where the high-end tourism comes in. So we have 10 lakh tourists coming in today, 12 lakh tourists coming in today. If each one spends just 1 rupee, which means they suppose they stay in some other part of the northeast, they hire the car from some other part in the northeast, they pack the food from somewhere else in the northeast, and they just drive up to Shillong and throw the packet and go back, well, that's not the tourism we want. So therefore, how do we create that kind of a system where a tourist will have a reason to come and stay in Shillong, will have the logistics that are there to support him, and at the same time will have the activities to know that, well, I will do this on day 1, this on day 2, this on day 3, and be able to extend the stay of the tourist from just 1 day to 5 days, 6 days. So this really is the larger goal and larger picture of what we are trying to achieve out here. And what has happened today here in Shillong is just the beginning of this entire process, or it's a part of this entire process. I'm sure I can see so many of our other friends from the hotel industry who are here. Well, we should take this in a positive way. We need to bring up the standards in every way possible. This is a positive competition that we want. We would like to see that every hotel should now compete with each other in a positive manner and become better and better at what they do. And I think it's important to realize that today, in terms of the high-end rooms, Shillong has less than 350 high-end rooms. That's it. You'll be surprised. When you go to any other part of the world, one hotel will have 2,000 rooms. Forget the whole state. And here we are, the whole state, and we have less than 350 rooms that are of high-end value. That means that there's a huge gap between demand and supply. And hence we really need to come together, and I would want that every other operator out here in terms of hotels are able to improve that overall standards and bring things up even in the existing hotels that we have, and I'm sure we the tourists also. So therefore, a lot of talk and discussions have been had that why all these events are being organized, why are we spending so much money on these events? Well, that's how tourism grows. One has to understand that it's not just by putting up a small poster somewhere and saying come visit Meghalaya, or putting a photo of some waterfall that people will start coming in. It doesn't work that way. There's a complete process in which you have to connect with the potential tourists. So therefore, the parents who are there, who want to take their children out, say from Bombay or Delhi, they will start planning in the month of January, February for their trip in the month of May and June and July. We need to understand that we need to touch those markets. What I'm trying to tell you is that don't think that tourism industry is a very simple basis, and we can just simply come up with marketing programs and expect tourists will come. It requires a lot of tailored approach. Then you'll be actually having people and guests coming in. Just the organizers coming in will be in the numbers of 300-400 people coming in. They'll require places to stay. We have larger goals in that, but I don't want to go into details. But these are kind of all the different programs which are connecting the dots and creating the big picture that I am telling you about tourism. And hence, in my beginning of my speech, I said that there's a lot to say, but I don't think I can go into everything. But that's how it will be. So I just wanted to give you a glimpse of what we are working on, and to tell you that it's not that we just wanted to complete this for the sake of completing it. This hotel not only is a message about a positive hope that we have, that even long pending projects can be completed, but it's also about the larger picture of the bigger aspect of tourism and how we plan to take the tourism sector forward. Why tourism? Well, very simple. This hotel, as we move along, and on the calculations that we have made, the lease that has been given to the concerned person, that based on that lease, in the next 30 years, MTDC is expected to get more than 100 crores in terms of revenue by leasing out this hotel. That money will be more or less enough to make MTDC financially stable. On an average, we expect in the next 30 years, if above average room occupancy is there, that we expect that the revenue that we're going to get in terms of our GST taxes will be over 500 crores just from this hotel alone. Now, these are the kind of numbers that you're looking at, which normally, public will not relate to. But this is what really is, taking the entire process. And this is how we are planning things forward. We have more than 100 jobs that have been created, and 80-90% of them are all local people out here. All our local boys and girls who have got the job. So many of them have been trained, and they have to go to other places to work. Finally, they have a place here itself at home to be able to work. And this is the direct employment we're talking about. What about the indirect employment in terms of the taxis that will require the drivers, the different food supplies that will require? It's unending. So one has to realize why tourism is so important. The kind of multiplier effect that tourism has on the economy is like no other sector. The kind of growth that we see. For the economy to grow, either you need investments coming in, either you need government spending to increase from outside, or you need tourism to come in for the money to flow. So that money then will further roll in the economy, and then the other people will benefit out of it. So this economic cycle is very crucial for us to be able to grow as a state. And therefore the multiplier effect that tourism has is like no other sector. And that is the reason why we are blessed to have beautiful locations, very, very strong culture. We should ensure that we as a government are able to create the correct policies and create the right infrastructure and the ecosystem. The word is ecosystem. To create the right ecosystem for all these things to thrive and to move forward and grow. Can directly tie up with different villages, different self-help groups. Take the products from them. For example, the biscuits that are made by the self-help groups. Today we have a very large jackfruit mission going on. Why can't we have the menus based on the jackfruit that we have, the products we make? Why can't, well, Vivanta start off by saying that we only procure biscuits from these self-help groups of Meghalaya and showcase their products. Let the people connect that every time they take a bite into the biscuit, they remember that this is being made by the self-help groups, the women self-help groups. As I said, let there be a story behind everything. The cloth they pick up, let there be a story behind it. The towel they use, let there be a story behind it. The biscuit they eat, let there be a story behind it. That really will make it special for the tourist in the larger long term. And I think it's important that can then link up with the self-help groups and the farmers, and then we will be able to unlock this entire potential that is there, and a new, brand new picture will come out in front of you. And that's really going to be the game changer in the long run. And that's really one of the goals that with which we are working. We have created these different institutional setups and systems in different locations. We're moving the tourism department forward. Now, if we're able to connect these two dots, I think it's going to create a huge opportunity for our people.